One more showdown for the Missouri Board of Education. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jim Reek.
And I'm Jessica Porter. Missouri's education commissioner was forced out of her position today. KMUA's Shalita Norwood was at the meeting and here to tell us about how it played out. Shalita?
Today, the board voted to remove Commissioner Margie Van Deven by a vote of 5-3. Governor Greitens has been trying to get a majority of board members to fire Van Deven, and he says now that Van Deven is gone, students and teachers have won. I spoke to educators who beg to differ.
I'm an educator, a teacher. Like most Missouri teachers, I focus on students.
Missouri Education Commissioner Margie Van Deven shared her final remarks at the Board of Education meeting. The commissioner says although she was forced out of her position,
I'm willing to fight for children and teachers.
Larry Felton was one of the many educators who disagreed with Van Deven's removal. He says he is disappointed and questions the state government's plan.
My main concern is the constitutional issue of the way in which this happened.
But Governor Greitens says Van Deven's dismissal will improve Missouri's education system. While the remaining board members were concerned with Van Deven.
I'm sorry. I hate to see you go. It's been an honor to serve with her.
It's been a difficult day for me.
Van Deven's main focus was to celebrate the decisions made for education.
Please let today's story be about Normandy. It's a great celebration. It shows exactly what people have done to come together throughout our communities for the betterment of kids.
The Department of Elementary and Secondary Education issued a statement disapproving of the decision as well. While the governor released this statement, our teachers need a raise if they just got paid at the national average. They'd make nearly $10,000 more a year. Meanwhile, we've got more administrators than most of the country, and their pay is rising more than twice as fast as teachers' pay. Some make big bucks, more than $250,000 a year, while too many teachers struggle to get by. The board members said they do not know who will replace Van Deven. In the studio, Shalita Norwood, KMUA News.
A student at Hickman High School brought a handgun to school today. The administration says another student reported the incident and the school immediately contacted law enforcement who took the suspect into custody. The gun was found in the student's backpack. An email to parents says Hickman and the school district take this incident seriously. It also asks the parents to review the school's safety policies.
President Trump's attorney says former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn's guilty plea does not implicate anyone other than Flynn. Flynn pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI about meetings he held with the Russian ambassador to the U.S. He says he accepts full responsibility for his actions. Flynn was forced to resign in February after lying to the vice president about the meeting. He is the first person from the White House to face any charges in the investigation.
This admission of guilt by the former National Security Advisor is a shattering moment for the Trump presidency.
Sources tell CNN the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, was the senior member of President Trump's team who directed Flynn to contact Russia. The White House disputes that claim.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson denied rumors about being asked to resign during a meeting with Libya's prime minister. When a reporter asked Tillerson if the Trump administration had asked him to resign, he smiled and said the idea was laughable. The president also responded to the rumor. He called it fake news.
Here's what's happening right now. The future of your taxes are on hold tonight as the Senate gets closer to voting on the GOP tax reform bill. Republicans have been scrambling all day to secure enough votes. If passed, what does it mean for your taxes? NBC's Tracy Potts takes a look.
Scrambling behind closed doors.
This is perfectly normal. Part of politics is drama.
There were 4 Republican holdouts on the tax plan. Now Arizona's Jeff Flake says he's a yes after Senate leaders and the Trump administration agreed to work on young immigrants brought here illegally, the DACA debate.
There are probably enough votes right now to pass it, and
without yours.
I think so.
Majority Leader Mitch McConnell announced midday they've got the votes after reportedly agreeing to bigger tax breaks for small businesses and property tax deductions up to $10,000. Critics complain it's a big rush.
We don't even know what the bill is. As of now, nobody can tell you what's in this bill. It's absolutely ridiculous.
There has been a lot of thought over a long period of time, not only months, but years, literally years of work.
Here's what's on the table: cutting individual tax rates, doubling the standard deduction, expanding the child tax credit, but ending deductions for state and local taxes and medical expenses. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
Another concern senators have, the Congressional Budget Office reports the GOP's plan would add more than $1 trillion to the U.S. deficit, with less than half of that amount paid for.
A taxpayer-funded account paid $84,000 for sexual harassment settlement involving a congressman. NBC News reports Representative Blake Farenthold settled his claim with his former communications director in 2015. She says Farenthold repeatedly made inappropriate comments to her. Farenthold's case is the first taxpayer-funded settlement over sexual harassment that has been made public.
The Missouri Housing and Development Commission listened to concerns today about the elimination of low-income housing tax credits. Governor Greitens announced the state would get rid of the tax credits in November. Many Missourians strongly disagree. KOMU8's Caroline Peterson is live in Columbia with a reaction from today's hearing.
I'm live at Bethel Ridge Apartments, which provide low-income housing for senior citizens. Many of the people who voiced their concerns at the meeting today live in homes just like these. One woman I talked to says she is scared because if these tax cuts are approved or if they keep going with this, they're not going to be able to build homes like the ones she lives in here.
Quite honestly, I'm going to be on the streets if all this keeps happening.
Low-income tax credits are no more in Missouri.
And if for some reason, something happens and I lose that apartment and they fill it, then I will be without a home because they're not building anymore.
Columbia Housing Authority, Boone County Family Resources, and more showed up to advocate to keep the tax credits.
Having affordable housing is key to get a roof over someone's head so that they can then get employed and work their way out of poverty.
One of the Missouri Housing Development Commissioners, Jason Crowell, sent KOMU8 a statement saying, in part, quote, "The Office of Missouri's State Auditor noted inefficiencies that results in only approximately 42 cents of every dollar actually going toward low-income housing projects. The remainder goes to the federal government, investors, and tax credit syndicators. Residents say cutting the programs entirely is not the solution." I also talked to an electrical contractor who works on low-income housing. He says he and possibly many others could lose their jobs because there won't be any houses to work on. Reporting live in Columbia, Caroline Peterson, KOMU8 News.
Columbia has the second lowest unemployment rate in the nation. According to a new report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the city held a rate of 1.5% for the month of October, following close behind #1 ranked city Ames, Iowa, with 1.4%. The rate dropped almost 1% from the previous month, where it stood at 2.3%. Some credit the low rate as a result of new and expanding businesses in the area.
Most of our manufacturers in town are expanding and adding jobs. And then when you look at a company like Veterans United, they've had phenomenal growth over the last 15 years. So all those contribute to us having one of the second lowest unemployment rate in the country.
Andrew says he hopes to add more programs in the future to provide more living wage opportunities.
Today was the first day Missouri lawmakers could file bills for the 2018 legislative session. One bill would keep Missouri up to date with CDC requirements for opioid prescriptions. Democrat Crystal Quaid from Springfield is the sponsor of that bill. She sees the issue as a simple legislative oversight. Another bill would change the way Missouri judges set bond. It would begin a system that takes economic standing into account.
Individuals should be able to bail out of prison, or bail out of jail rather, and not have to mortgage their house.
The 2018 legislative session begins January 3rd.
The unusually warm weather has blown from November right into December. Let's send it over to Tim with the latest weather updates. Tim?
That's right, it has. Today was the first day of December. Didn't feel like it. Felt like an early November day, maybe even a late October day, however you put it. Felt pretty comfortable outside for the first day of meteorological winter. First day of December, temperatures into the 50s once again. Earlier today, they're as high as about 56 to 57 in a lot of spots. A few clouds have moved in, though, this afternoon and early this evening, and, well, that just means that temperatures are at least going to be a little bit warmer than last night. Still to come here for this evening. It's going to be chilly, but those temperatures will be in the 40s, so if you are headed out this evening, you'll need a jacket. But overall, not as cold as it was last night. We stay above freezing. Those temperatures will upcoming. I have your forecast for this weekend. We have parades this weekend in Jefferson City and Fulton. I'll let you know what tomorrow's forecast looks like in a little bit of detail into next week's big cool down that's coming up here in a couple of minutes.
The Missouri School for Deaf has finally found a new superintendent after almost 6 months. Who it is after the break.
And you're taking a live look over the capital city on this Friday afternoon. It's 5:09. This is KOMU 8 News First at 5. Coverage you can count on.
Count on the KOMU 8 News app to keep you connected all day to Mid-Missouri breaking news, live Doppler 8 First Alert weather, and local sports scores. Stay connected to the stories that matter to you. Download the free KOMU 8 News app for coverage you can count on.
On the next wheel. Now, what's this escape room thing? Pat learned something new.
A bunch of friends and I go to these places, we get locked into a room, and we have 60 minutes to solve a series of puzzles to try to get out.
That's kidnapping, Tony.
Weeknights at 6:30 on KOMU 8. Never be surprised by the weather. Download the free KOMU 8 weather and traffic app for your phone and tablet.
Looking for a pre-owned vehicle? Look no further. We now have 3 locations to serve you. The all-new BMW of Columbia, Mercedes-Benz of Columbia, or the pre-owned of Columbia. For the best selection, quality vehicles, lowest prices. Save thousands. Whether it's Ford, Chevy, Chrysler, Toyota, Nissan, VW, trucks, or SUVs, we have them and more. Our inventory is larger than ever and changes daily. Experience the difference at ColumbiaBMW.com, ColumbiaMercedes-Benz.com, and DrewingAuto.com.
Oh my God, this is so exciting. All these people have come out to see me. Oh, you know what? Actually, I think they're here for the tree lighting. Oh, no, I don't think they are. I'm going to take it from here if that's okay. New York! Oh, check through the window. Okay.
Tuesday, a night of holiday magic as Will and Grace goes back in time.
What you're wearing? 1888 cows. They'd like their drapes back.
Followed by a Superstore surprise.
Oh!
A comedy Christmas Tuesday on NBC.
The First Alert Weather Cam is brought to you by the law firm of Harper, Evans, Wade, and Nettemeyer. We will fight for you.
All right, welcome back. A live look over the Lake of the Ozarks. Lots of clouds moving in. High clouds down to our south. It's just with a little passing system in the jet stream. High pressure overhead keeping us dry, though. Almanac numbers for today, 57. So the temperature we hit earlier, morning low temperature up towards 26. Average highs around 46, average low around 28. So we're on pace for the average low, but the average high, nowhere close to that. Very warm outside. And more than likely, the dry atmosphere outside has really helped warm up those temperatures a little bit more so than usual for the 1st of December. Right now, temperatures are in the low 50s. It's 52 in Columbia, 56 in Jefferson City at your state capital, 55 at the Lake of the Ozarks. Already back into the 40s into parts of Moberly and Mexico at this time. Brunswick's at 53. But overall, it's open skies and sunshine here for the rest of this weekend. Mild really is the word for the weekend, too, because we'll be in the 60s. There's a system, though, out to our west, and we're going to have to pay attention to that because that is what is going to start to bring in the cooler weather and at least draw it our way by next week. But overall for the weekend, yeah, well above average. 61 tomorrow, 64 on Sunday. Even on Monday, too, 66 degrees. That's fairly comfortable if you look at the number. But we will have the clouds, and we also have that chance for rain, 30 to 40% chances. And I think a lot of that rain's going to spill into Monday night through early Tuesday. The back end of that forecast doesn't look so great either. It looks like winter arrives several days early, several weeks early, at least temperature-wise. 46 on Tuesday, 40s into Wednesday. It'll be cold by then. Here's a look at how that all happens. High pressure continues to work its way to the east, and it sets up a pattern to involve more of a northern storm system off to our west to move on in. So at least it's mild here for the weekend. But by Sunday, here comes a warm front. That'll start to bring in some clouds to close out this weekend. Monday, here comes the rain. And I think by Monday afternoon, we do have some at least scattered chances for showers and thunderstorms. We need that rain, too. It's been very, very dry. But there goes that rain chance. Moves off to the east, and by Tuesday and Wednesday, cold air replaces it. Multiple waves of cold air starts to head our way for next week, and it just reinforces the cold every day after. We do have a cool, at least, sky feature here for the weekend. It's the supermoon. It's a full moon that happens Sunday evening. Typically, the moon's distance is about 238,000 miles from the Earth. That's on average, but on Sunday, it's going to be a little bit closer than that. It's going to appear much bigger, too. It's going to appear 14% larger. It's going to appear 30% brighter, too, and its perigee distance. That's its closer proximity. Apogee is the further proximity, which is about 258,000 miles away from the Earth. Well, on Sunday night, the moon's going to be about 222,000 miles away. Cool stuff. How about that? Yeah. Tonight, though, mostly clear. In some areas up north of I-70, partly cloudy to the south. 38 will be the overnight low temperature. A little chilly this evening, but tomorrow more sunshine, tranquil and mild. 61 for the afternoon high temperature. Weekend forecast, looks pretty good. 61 tomorrow, 64 on Sunday. The week ahead, not so much. After Monday, we're down into the 30s and 40s, and as I mentioned before, multiple shots of cold air. Wouldn't be surprised if we're in the teens, maybe 20s for morning temperatures next week. Wow.
Hey, I'm looking forward to the supermoon.
Are you?
Yeah.
Was that cool?
That's cool.
Was that informative enough?
Yeah.
I hope so.
All right, Tim, thank you. St. Louis Community College approves major budget cuts.
How the changes are affecting almost 100 faculty members. Up next.
Find great gifts and home improvement savings during Menards Christmas Home and Gift Sale. From small DIY projects to large renovations, Black & Decker have the tools to help get the job done right. This single-speed cordless drill and driver kit comes with a long-lasting 20-volt lithium-ion battery, just $39.99. Or get even more power with this 2-speed cordless drill and driver kit, only $49.99. Christmas is almost here. Give a Menards gift card.
More season's greetings to you all from Menards. What does it take to be named the top television station in Missouri? An unwavering commitment to journalism excellence,
Reporting live in downtown Columbia.
community service, and industry leadership.
The moon covering up the sun's light.
KOMU 8 has been recognized as Station of the Year by the Missouri Broadcasters Association. It's an honor we share with you. We're proud to serve you, to share your stories, and to stand side by side with you to make our communities stronger. Thank you for trusting us for coverage you can count on. Closed captioning of KOMU 8 News is brought to you by Bob McCosh Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac.
Looking to start fresh with a new career? With JobPoint's variety of trades programs, you can reach your employment goals in just 8 weeks. Prepare for work in the booming healthcare industry with our Certified Nursing Assistant course, or refine your computer skills in our Office Technology and Support class. Other courses include highway and heavy construction, carpentry, and heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Visit jobpoint.org or call 573-474-8560. JobPoint, focused on employment.
High school seniors, your life is full of big choices. Will you continue your education next year? And where will you go? Columbia Honda wants to help you make your next smart choice. Each month until May, Columbia Honda will award a $1,000 scholarship to a high school senior in mid-Missouri who has made a positive impact on their community. $1,000 toward your post-high school education? Now that's a smart choice. Apply for the Columbia Honda Smart Choice Scholarship at KOMU.com under the On KOMU 8 tab.
St. Louis Community College's decision to cut almost 100 jobs caused protests last night. The college approved several budget cuts yesterday, including laying off as many as 70 faculty members and 25 staff members. Protesters stopped the meeting just before the vote when they lied down in front of the board and chanted "Justice for faculty." The protest continued for almost an hour before the board continued with the vote.
After nearly 6 months without a superintendent, the Missouri School for the Deaf has a new one. Today, the state announced George Staley will take over that position. He previously worked at the Indiana School for the Deaf. He served as the superintendent for 10 of the 32 years there. Staley says he doesn't want to immediately make changes.
So what I would like to do is take maybe 3 to 6 months to really get to know the employees and the students and the community. And then I would like to start making some suggestions.
Staley will take over the superintendent's position in April.
Can smartphones actually change the way we think? How a new study aims to show the effects of cell phones and the internet on our brains.
From the White House, full coverage of the breaking developments in the Russia investigation as Michael Flynn cuts a deal, pleading guilty to lying to the FBI and apparently naming names. Also not heard since the Cold War, the sound jarring Hawaii into a new reality tonight.
Sunday night is Sports Night on KOMU 8. Watch Sports Extra with Chris Trevino Sunday nights for extra insight, extra interviews, and extra highlights of all your favorite local teams. Get the inside scoop on Mizzou athletics from Mizzou Sports Authority Chris Trevino, plus expert analysis from our Sports Extra hot seat guest. Sunday night is Sports Night on KOMU 8. Watch Sports Extra with Chris Trevino Sunday nights after KOMU 8 News at 10 for sports coverage you can count on.
More than 104,000 people rely on the food bank for Central and Northeast Missouri on a regular basis as they struggle to feed their families.
I work full-time, but I still struggle to provide healthy meals for my children.
The cost of my medications keep going up, and then I can't afford to buy food.
I'm a veteran who fought for our country. Now I'm battling for our next meal.
Join KOMU 8 in the fight against hunger in mid-Missouri. Visit sharefoodbringhope.org to learn how you can help share food and bring hope.
Count on the KOMU 8 News app to keep you connected all day to Mid-Missouri's news, weather, and sports. With breaking news, the latest videos on developing stories, Target 8 investigations, and watch KOMU 8 newscasts live. Plus, full weather coverage from the live Doppler 8 First Alert weather team, local sports scores, and a place to share your photos and videos. Wherever you are, all day, stay connected to the stories that matter to you. Download the free KOMU 8 News app for coverage you can count on.
University Concert Series, presented by KOMU 8, welcomes the acclaimed Irish ensemble Danu, celebrating a Christmas gathering. Celtic music lovers around the world have been thrilled by their virtuoso players on fiddle, flutes, accordion, percussion, and vocals, along with top-notch guest dancers. Tickets are available at concertseries.org. University Concert Series, presented by KOMU 8, Columbia Daily Tribune, Columbia Convention and Visitors Bureau, and KMOS.
For centuries, people have used courtrooms like this one to sort out who's telling the truth. As journalists, we can't put people under oath. We have to dig for the answers. That's why there's a Target 8 investigative team. We fact-check politicians and the promises they make to you. We expose scams and rip-offs to protect your money. And we track how your tax dollars are spent. We'll get you the facts you need so you can be the judge. That's why we call it coverage you can count on.
Did you know you might be allergic to your house? A new study finds more than 90% of houses have at least 3 detectable allergens. The study sampled bedrooms from nearly 7,000 U.S. homes. Experts say the best way to get rid of allergens inside your home is to vacuum and to wash the bedding in hot water at least once a week. The FDA approved a new opioid addiction treatment late last night. It's called Subcolade. It's a monthly injection of medication that's different than the drug used during emergency overdoses. The injection is the first of its kind on the market. And today is World AIDS Day. It's an annual day dedicated to increasing awareness about the disease and its impact. More than 1 million people in the U.S. are HIV positive. 1 in 7 of those people don't even know they're infected. While there's no cure for HIV, experts say it's manageable as long as you know your status and get tested. You can find free and confidential testing center near you at gettested.cdc.gov. New research is adding to a growing pool of evidence that too much technology can change our brains. A small South Korean study looked at brain images from 19 boys diagnosed with internet or smartphone addiction and compared them to boys who weren't addicted. The addicted boys' brains had higher levels of neurotransmitters in charge of slowing down brain neurons, which can decrease focus.
Bet you didn't know it, Tom Hanks has loyal fans overseas, and they made his dream come true. That's after the break.